Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, True Love's Kiss, Part 3. She traveled to the dwarf's house, beyond the mountains, and knocked on the door. Snow White put her head out of the window. "Who are you, old lady? What can I do for you?" "Open the door, beautiful girl. I am very poor. I want to give you some apples to beg some bread for my dying husband. I must not let anyone in. The seven dwarfs have forbidden me to do so." "That is all right with me. Here, I'll offer you one of these fresh and delicious apples in return of a piece of the bread loaf dear." When Snow White saw the beautiful and shining apples, she could not resist to have it. She could not resist to have it. She went into the kitchen, brought big loaf of bread freshly made for the seven dwarfs' meal. She gave it to the old lady and took the apples in return for the dwarf's meal. She barely had a bite in her mouth. She fell on the ground, dead. The wicked queen transformed into her real self. White as snow, red as blood, black as ebony wood. The seven dwarfs shall never ever awaken you. She immediately ran back to the palace and stood in front of broken piece of mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all?" The mirror finally answered as she was wishing. "You, my queen, you are the fairest of all." When the dwarfs came home in the evening, they found Snow White lying on the ground. She was not breathing at all. She was dead. They lifted her up and looked at her longingly. They talked to her, shook her, and wept over her. But nothing helped. The dear child was dead, and she remained dead. They laid her on a bed of straw, and all seven sat next to her and mourned for her and cried for 3 days. They were going to bury her, but she still looked as fresh as a living person and still had her beautiful red cheeks. We cannot bury her in the black earth. She should remain white, spotless as she still is. They made a transparent glass coffin so she could be seen from all sides. They laid her inside and wrote with golden letter in the box, "Here lies the Princess Snow White." Then they put the coffin outside on the mountain snow. The animals and the birds came too and mourned for Snow White. At the same time, a prince entered into the same mountain area to hunt. He saw the crowd of dwarfs and animals around the glass case. The prince wondered what in the world would be in the case that attracted so many pretty animals. The prince went near and read what was written on it with golden letters. He thought this was the same girl who he had always dreamed of. Then he saw the dwarfs nearby. "Let me have the coffin. I will give you anything to have this pretty girl." "We will not sell it for all the gold in the world. Please give it to me. I cannot live without being able to see her. I will die if you wouldn't allow me to take her." "Are you crazy? What will you do with this dead body?" "I will honor her and build a monument near my palace to rest her soul in peace." The good dwarfs felt pity for him and accepted his demand. The prince had his servants carry it away on their shoulders. But then it happened that one of them stumbled while picking the coffin. This dislodged the piece of poisoned apple that she had bitten off. The prince immediately ran and caught the coffin. He put her under a tree and gazed at her. She was still looking pretty as she was alive. The prince kissed her on the forehead. As soon as he kissed the Snow White, she opened her eyes. Snow White sat up and was alive again. "Good heavens, where am I?" You are with me. I am a prince." And the prince told her what had happened. "Oh my God. You decided to keep me even if I was dead. But why? You are the only girl in my dreams. I love you more than anything else in the world. Come with me to my castle. Will you marry me and be my queen?" "Yes, my charming prince, but I want to see my father first. I wish that he would bless our marriage." "But I heard that your father is lost somewhere and hasn't come back to the kingdom for a long time." "This must be a trick of my wicked stepmother. Please do something so that we can find him." "Okay. Let's go to the palace and search for him." So the prince decided to search for her lost father. He conquered her kingdom against the wicked queen. In the castle, they discovered Queen's secret room and found Snow White's father in secret prison, and they released him. On the other hand, when the queen saw the king released from prison, in the terror of the king and others, the queen ran out of the kingdom and never ever was seen ever again. The king announced the marriage of her daughter in the palace court. Snow White got married with a grand celebration and splendor. Everyone lived happily ever after.